Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 4 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into this stuff we are shipping out today on Friday. Still some decent sales. eBay's been going pretty strong. So let's go ahead and first jump into this one. This is going to be 8 of these Napoleonic toy soldiers. These are like a bigger size one. I think they're like 1 out of 32 scale, which is like, think of an Armyman, like a classic green Armyman figure. They also have the horsies. These have been pretty popular for me. I got a bunch of these, but I had to organize them. And then when I was looking them up, people would make little like dioramas of them and make scenes and do little blogs of them. So people like these. Sometimes people paint them up as well. These end up going for $20.99 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping, so I'll save us the time right now. All right, so I guess I could show the the front of this one. I have to make sure everything's okay. All right, so we sold some Playboy magazines. We got a bunch of these like a long time ago. We actually got a bunch of like different, all sorts of magazines when we were first starting. Magazines was kind of like one of the first categories. Needle point craft kits, yarn, skeins, all that kind of stuff was like what we started with. That was kind of what we found around our area, as well as we would buy stuff from storage unit flippers and they would get a bunch of magazines. So of course we would get the nudie magazines that we would sell. But yeah, those are going to be from 1983, just 5 different issues. They end up going for $17.50. We used to sell more of them when shipping was cheaper. So yeah, now that shipping's too like way more expensive, like more than double of what it used to be when we first started in like 2020. We've been selling less and less of those magazines because some of the Playboys are gonna be like, they're actually like thicker. So like 5 or 6 of them is actually like 2 or 3 pounds just without the packaging. So I think that's why we've been selling less. All right. Next up is going to be this right here. This is going to be Monster Apocalypse. This is going to be some dice right here. This is, oh, I forgot to grab the blue ones. We'll have to go back to the storage unit anyways because I forgot one item. But yeah, these are going to be the white, red, and there's supposed to be some blue ones. I have a bunch of these in a baggie, and then I have what would come in a starter set as a listing, and when it sells, I pull them. Apparently this time I forgot to grab the blue ones, and then I go ahead and relist the listing. I'm on my last set of dice. But yeah, these end up going for $10.49. This is for the collectible game. It is now a miniature game where you like build and paint them, but in the past you would buy these booster packs. I played it at Gen Con and demoed it, so I played it a little bit. It's a fun game. You get a kaiju monster. You have a bunch of little elites and regular minions that help you, and you're trying to knock out the other person's like kaiju monster. So yeah, $10.49 for these dice for the vintage Monster Apocalypse one. All right. Moving along, we have this not Monster tin, I'm thinking Monster Apocalypse. These are Pokemon. This is going to be a Pokemon tin. This is going to be like one of their tins that they would come with like packs and stickers and pencils for kids. Just another way for kids to want to purchase something on the shelf. Pokemon does a lot of creative ways to package their things. And also this is a container that can hold cards or maybe other stuff like lunches and whatever they want. So it's good for parents to get these for their kids if kids are into it, because then they have a storage for the cards, so the cards aren't all over the ground, or else the kid will have them all over the place. Or people just collect them. It doesn't have to be just kids. Like a lot of people like Pokemon across all the ages. But yeah, the Mega Charizard and then like I think this is the Chunky Pikachu. This one only ended up going for $5, but some of the older containers go for more. It just depends on like who's on the art and how old it is and who wants to collect it. All right. Moving along, we have Gamegenic. This is going to be a pink Squire box. This is one that's like vertical. This can hold 100 cards, which would be for Magic the Gathering, a commander deck. They use 100 cards. This little flap right here is convertible, so you can mix it with other colors. Gamegenic's a pretty good company. I went to a shop recently, and I saw that they have I think, Lord of the Rings themed Gamegenic deck box, and it was like $34 new. So a lot of this stuff is really expensive, but they last a long time. These are good quality storage containers for a card game player, so that's why they're more expensive. These are like what you do to like put your most expensive deck in, or a deck you really care about. Or if you're carrying it to your friend's house, you don't want it in like a plastic one. You want it to like stay nice and protected. You get these good quality ones. $13.12 for this. All right. Next up is going to be this. I think it's an RPG book. All Hands on Deck right here. Yeah, it is. It's going to be some kind of small little pirate RPG game right here. People get all sorts of RPG games. They like playing them. It doesn't have to be just be Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. People like pirate stuff and then sci-fi stuff as well. This is by Ice Iron Crown Enterprises. They do a lot of different miniature games and role-playing games in the past. I don't know if they're still around. This ended up going for $7.87. All right. Next up is going to be the Star Wars Finest. Which character is this? Mara Jade. I don't know who this one is. I got a bunch of these Star Wars cards, the Star Wars Finest. They're like these foil cards. Some of them I had doubles, so I have them ready to relist when they sell. This one I did not have a double of. But yeah, they look like these cool little shiny cards. I'll sell them occasionally. Usually I do lots with stuff, but for these I just decided to do them individually. I don't know, that's just what I decided at the time. But yeah, this one I'm going for $5. So I think that's why I did them as individuals, because I figured I could get $5 or more. But I still have a lot of those already listed, ready to go, and someone picked it up. They do look fancy with the foiling. Next up is going to be this, but I already have it packed up. This is going to be like an interesting, like, it's made in France. It was like a tapestry. So you like roll it out and someone had like hand woven this. Looks really cool. There's like a village, there's people, there's like nature in the background. Really nice thing, like just like a house decoration or whatever the person wants to use this for. So I'm going for $15 for that one. We normally don't sell art, but we'll occasionally get it in like little bulk purchases, and I'll give it a shot. It's not a big deal. I do like to also sell like posters and the board game maps, so I don't mind selling like the big things. That one's not as big, but there are some like art things that I get sometimes. They're just like cumbersome, but I don't mind it. All right, next up is going to be this board game Breakthrough right here. This is going to be a tactical game where I think one person has less pieces in the middle and another person has like weaker ones on the edges, and the person on the edges is trying to get like, I think like the middle piece. I haven't played this game, but I've sold it a bunch. This is gonna be one of those bookcase games right here where they have like the sleeve that comes out and it looks nice on a bookshelf. These ones also look like they have fancy lettering. The better the condition of these, the more money you can get for the box as well as for the pieces inside, because these are like older ones. This end I'm going for $10.50. All right. Next up is going to be something that I recently listed. I got a bunch of these Massive Darkness 2 cards. Now, I haven't played Massive Darkness or Part 1 or Part 2. It's by Cool Miniatures or not. It's going to be a fantasy game where I don't know if someone controls the Overlord or monsters, but I know it's going to be one of those dungeon crawlers where you pick a hero, you play a campaign, you upgrade your character with like items and abilities. So that's what all of these cards are. These are all of the cards that would come in the, I think the base game is called Hellscape. So yeah, I just got a bunch of cards and I had to organize them. It took me like a long time to organize a bunch of cards because I got other cards from expansions and from a Kickstarter upgrade pack, and I had to figure out how to identify all of them. I was just digging on like Board Game Geek websites and just keep Googling stuff to figure out what goes with what. But yeah, these end up going for $13.64. This is a full set for the game, but it doesn't have the board, the miniatures, the cardboard pieces, like the power tokens and the gold and stuff like that. But people will still pick them up. All right, moving along, we have the Cool Miniatures or not. So another one of their products. This is going to be Rob Stark. This is going to be the Song of Fire and Ice miniature game where you play like battles where your troops go into trays, as well as you'll have some heroes and solo characters. This is just going to be one of them. And then they have like, this is their little card here. All the characters and stuff have cards, and you have to play dice. You paint these up. I think they already come pre-built, so you don't have to build them with super glue. So yeah, people like this game. It's I don't know if it's around still, but people still enjoy the Game of Thrones stuff. $8.39 for that particular character. All right, moving along, we have a bunch of Warhammer 40K and Fantasy. You've been seeing me sell these if you've been watching for a while. This is baggie number 77. A lot of people will kit bash with these, practice painting, use them for terrain, decoration on the bases of miniatures. But yeah, these end up going for $10 for this packet. I took an offer on that one. All right, moving along, we have this dinosaur toy. This is a thing that like Annetta keeps an eye out for. She'll find like interesting bug toys, dinosaurs, dragons. There's sea creatures, animals. As long as they're like a good quality toy and they're clean and like she can picture someone enjoying it, she'll pick it out. And then we end up selling them for a decent amount of money. This one sold for $10.50. Sometimes I'll put all of these in like a similar lot, but if they're like nice big toy, I'll list it separately. If they're small ones, I'll probably make like a little lot for them. But yeah, that's stuff that we'll occasionally, like more on the rare side, we'll run into the ones that we pick up. All right, moving along, we have these miniatures. These are going to be Scots Mercenaries for the 30 Years' War. Got 48 of them. I got a bunch of these miniatures where someone had like cut out the front part of the box and then the back part of the box, and then they kept it with the miniatures in the baggie for the ones they hadn't used yet. So some of these are still on their sprues here. It just doesn't have like the edges of the box. So this is everything but half of the box, which it doesn't matter. The person who gets this might toss that out anyways. I just might as well keep it together with the item as is and let the person decide. It's not going to add that much weight, in the box dimension that we ship this is still going to be the same. But yeah, people like the miniatures. $13.99 for that. All right, last up for the day is going to be Star Wars Imperial Assault. This is I think it was the Leia, the Leia expansion. So Star Wars Imperial Assault is going to be the Star Wars version of the Descent Journeys in the Dark board game. Same company, Fantasy Flight Games, that made it. They have the base game, you play a campaign, and then they also have a bunch of campaign expansions you can get to continue on the game with a different expansion, and then you can play different characters, and then they have like 40 or 50, 60 different villain packs for the rebel player, or sorry, not the rebel player, the Empire player to meddle with, and they get to pick and choose the enemies that you're going to be fighting, and they have all these hero packs and character expansions that the characters and heroes can play as. So this is some of the cards from the Leia expansion. I think it's like $40. I looked it up yesterday if it was complete with the other cards and then the miniature and stuff. There's not too much in these like little character and villain expansions, but yeah, these end up 4 cards sold for $8. Someone can still like use this if they have a miniature for Leia, or you can use like a token, you know, you can still use her card. So yeah, $8 for this one. That's everything. Nothing too fancy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone has a good weekend.